Yo, what is up? We're back with week 3 and I got my water with me. Alright, keep your water tilted, consume what you need because we might need it for the heat. So it is week 3. Gonna give you a rundown of what we're doing. It is Gen 7. We are in the Heat Connoisseurs Draft League. And the rules, just a brief overview, is we have Z captains, 2 Z captains amassing 20 points total between 2. So there is no dry passing, no omni boosting Z moves. There is no Terra, but a whole bunch of heat. Or so we'll see. So what I'll be doing is I'll be reviewing the matches for this week 3, and overall giving my opinions or thoughts behind some thought processes of the captains, and then also leads that I think might happen, as well as some insight or perspective if you may not be cued in on some stuff. And then we'll also at the end of the game give a heat rating from 1 to 5 on heat sets, heat mons, stuff like that, based on moves brought, performance, consideration, and the like. So we'll go ahead and start it off with Master Hand Spazz, that's me, versus Saph of the Crimson Shurikens. So this was the first game that was played over this week. They have a very well put together draft team, and my initial thought was, okay, nice. Based on my speed, they brought semi trick room maybe. So a whole bunch of bulky mons, right? Versus what I have here. Nightmare, Gin and Juiced, Pixie Sticks, Submerge, Scrap Reap, and Cthulhu. I love these names. Somebody tell me how these names are. Versus their names, which are pretty great. I do like their names. So let's get right into it. As far as a lead, I don't want to see this as a lead, right? Because I have Mimikyu here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show off the heat, but I have Copycat for something like webs or rocks, and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm dreading that as a lead. If Crook leads, okay, that's fine. I planned on leading Mimikyu for the most part, but I do believe I might have changed it up based on the mons that were brought. So I believe I lead Cthulhu here. So I do lead Cthulhu, and they send in Atem, and I have Toxic on it, and we just exchange statuses. And Muddy Water misses. This is Friday the 13th, by the way. So I'm like, anything bad that can happen might happen. Murphy's Law, But I get the Toxic on Kaguya. So I get 2 things, thick things, Toxic. So that definitely helps. I bring in Nightmare here. Hopefully they fear the Bug Buzz or something like that. I can get off some really decent damage. And I just go straight for the Bug Buzz over the T-Bolt because they have the immunity to ground there. So I'm like, you know what? I could get a drop. I get the crit. So I'm like, okay, that's nice. And they've revealed that they are lefties. I try to get the Toxic off on that as well, being that would be the main thing that I am also trying to Toxic. So excellent double right there, right? Wait, why did this happen? So let's go back. They come in Florges. I get the crit. And then they make the double on the turn the Trick Room drops. Okay. So I go in Rabombi here. I believe I got the read. And my Rabombi here, well, I mean, it's basically going to show what it's there to do. So I get the trick off. Basically enabling this to do nothing except click attacks for the most part. If it has Wish, it can do that. If it has Heal Bell, it can do that. Protect is no longer a thing, but dang, that thing does damage to the Pixie Sticks. So I U-turn right on out, getting me some pretty decent momentum into Submerge here. And I have the sub, as they know the nickname now for Ribombee, Pixie Sticks. You know, it's a Pixie, Fairy, Sticky Web Sticks, you know, and Pixie Sticks. But going right on here. So, they Moonblast, and I get the third Toxic off that I need. So, kind of a toxic playstyle right now, but, you know, they have a very thick team. So I get some damage, get to gauge how much I'm doing with that. Moonblast drop would suck right now, but it doesn't happen. So I go sub, and I hit them with the EQ over an Earth Power. Now I am 20 EVs with a negative attack nature. Wanted to do enough for 50% on, and there's another miss, 50% on the Dragalge. But that thing is especially bulky. So luckily I get the mirror coat off, and I drop that all the way down. So that's lovely. But yeah, the muddy water misses do suck. I think I missed 3. I let that go down, and unfortunately, you know, I was trying to scout out what this had. Heavy Slam, Leech Seed, Flamethrower could be a thing. Protect I expect on this. So between what it might have, like Nightmare could do some effective walling, or this as well if it does have Flamethrower. So I'm pretty much scouting, but at the same time, this with a Spazz boost kind of sucks for the rest of my team. So I do gotta hope and play on, you know, taking this down effectively, because I can't Toxic it. I don't have Corrosion. It does have Leech Seed on me, and that is just overall annoying, right? So this kind of pinches me in this instant here. So I go Gin and Juiced, and we love this interaction here, right? I don't know if we read it, but yeah, I swear to God, if I see Z Gravity from this Lando, I'm gonna slam my keyboard. RIP Saph's keyboard. RIP Saph's keyboard. So I get the +1 from the Gravity, from Psychium Z Gravity, and there are no resist. And with that, I'm so glad I'm doing that much damage, especially with the +1 on Spazz, and then my counterbalance of the +1 as well. Now I'm gonna take some heavy damage, but I do get off very great damage, and I'm like, okay, that is not leftovers, which is amazing. And this going down is also amazing. I was hoping it wasn't faster as well. And yeah, Lando was only 16 points, but I have a spare of 30 points as well. So I did expect the Ice Beam on Kaguya and some type of coverage. It doesn't have access to some things, but Calm Mind is a move that it does have, as well as Moonlight, but the Toxic off on it is definitely going to just chip this down, as well as my Flamethrower. So that's practically what I'm going for, as well as getting chip recovery. But I will hurt myself as well just subbing up. So that didn't even break at +1, which is great. And I get some good damage off overall. Flamethrower doing a good amount. And they predict the Earthquake, which is pretty good, but they don't have lefties on this. And later I did call what item it was. I was guessing it might have been Wakan Berry, which it very much was. So that would have sucked if I did bring out Nightmare instead of Z Gravity, which is something that I did plot. So 4th Mon to get Toxic. And unfortunately, Nightmare's Earthquake is not real. because no gravity. So I do have Thunderbolt for more damage on Celesteela here, and I go into Scrap Reap for a mid-ground play to take whatever move they want to go. They read the Ghost type coming in, and I'm like, okay, cool. I can't really do much, but guarantee the kill with Earthquake is something I wanted to do. So this was a very scary period right here too, because Stone Edge 2-hit KOing, and I realized, oh, you are Scarf. But they actually needed 3 crits. They needed to crit Nightmare, Volcanion, and Gin and Juice in order to take the victory. So very well done by Saph. All right, let's rate this heat. As again, I will abstain from giving myself an own heat rating. So please feel free in the comments. Let me know if anything that you've seen in play was heat, and what would you rate it 1 through 5. Let's see some flames, hopefully. All right, but as far as Saph here, unfortunately we didn't get to see Sakura do much except Moonblast, which it did hefty damage. Crit was Scarf, pretty scary overall. Did have the Intimidate too, but pretty standard, what you would see. Standard as well on that. Never Ending Nightmare, that I did not see coming on Magellan. Pretty dope overall, just doing damage. Cresselia, pretty standard, what I expect. Trick, Hex, Wisp. So I would say, let's see. I do like the Ghostium, but I think at any given point it just does damage. So very well played. Again, I did enjoy this game. Personally, I love their team. I don't think my team bullies them that much, and unfortunately I really didn't get to build overall, so a lot of toxic was on there. Like the EVs on this I love, but I don't think I got to build very much, unfortunately. So hence all the toxic. Going on to game number 2. Okay, so we have Lord Emvee, coach of the Big Nuggets, versus Manuel TMT, coach of the Duraludons. So Emvee's bringing Suicune off the bench this time around, and let's see, I like both of these teams. Like, this team is just naturally relatively bulky, and this team is very offensive, can definitely steamroll here. So as far as leads, I could see HP Ice on Infernape. This is mixed attacking, possibly. Made all male and all female. Look at that. Don't know if that was by design or not, but wow, Cryogonal doesn't have a gender. Let's see. I can see a lot of good leads here. This is a good lead as well. I could see a mixed set, maybe Sash. I believe this has access to rocks. We have rocks here and here and here. Hydreigon, does this get rocks too? Am I tripping? A lot of good pivots as well. I'm unsure how this leads, right? I could see that'd be dope if this was Scarf. Doesn't have access to fairy move for this, but it does good work into these two. I can see a HP Fire baiting that in. Same with this. Hydreigon, I don't know if it has access to Nasty Plot, but it could prove nice. But they do have special defensive bulk all around the board, so I could see them hitting kind of physically if they have it here. So let's get right into it. Lando lead, let's just call it, no, I'm lying. Infernape lead here. Maybe, how do you lead? You don't have pivots. Let's go right into it. So I call them Infernape, Suicune. Okay, so this is possibly Scarf too. Like, we don't have any ability proccing on Infernape to let us know that it is or isn't. I would love to see this bean scarf. Go straight out. So we see Scald. Do we get the burn? No burn. So sub, okay. Is this Crocoon? Leech Seed fails. Good bring, and we see the Scald. So Power Whip. Good move. Just trying to get the burn off, I believe. Protect on the pressure. Oh no. Oh no. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters. So protect, getting off the chip. Health there. And Power Whip is dwindling down in PP. That was smart of Emvee to go for the second burn there. Gyro Ball only has 8 PP, so it's going down. Power Whip can only be used 3 times, as well as Gyro Ball. So, oh man. And possibly the burn could mitigate the damage to doing under 25. I doubt it, but still nasty work. And Emvee could predict a second time to scout that out as well, because I don't think Hydreigon can, you know, scare it out. Good scout either way by Emvee. Not risking the flinch or just anything else this might have, like toxic. It is faster depending on this investment. So very nice, very nice. This is in on that. Okay, do we see double toxic right into it? So Manuel has been running a lot of Rain Dance with Manaphy, so it just might be off or not, aside from some chip health. So if they don't run Rain Dance this time around, Manaphy is on the timer, but we do see the hydration proc, and we are going to see Infernape pop in here. Freeze Dry on that, and we go right into Muck for the Flame Charge. Ooh, scary work here. Alright, so Flame Charge SD, I'm loving it. Poison Jab, no poison. CC is gonna knock that out, but also drop its defenses down. And okay, bringing this in could definitely just bode, oh, extreme speed, which is a good move. Protect, nice. Okay. Oh, so cruel, so cruel. So 1,000 arrows is gonna do decent damage. Gyro Ball is gonna pop that, but 5 more PP left on that. And Zygarde is very comfortable with sub protect, just seeing what you got. This is very cruel. Ferrothorn is going straight down. The funny thing is, based on, you know, not having PP here, having toxic, like this might not even have hidden power fire. Like if you're effectively dealing with Ferrothorn in this way, to where you only have to now fear Leech Seed or Toxic, which sub just doesn't break through, or this doesn't go through sub, whatever, unless Infiltrator and non-grass. You are effectively just making this setup fodder, especially if you have sub, which we see another sub, and Gyro Ball PP is now at 0, and Toxic cannot pop. So protect again for the Power Whip, and 1 Power Whip remains. Now we see the DD now. Okay, I was wondering what it is. So that was very smart by Emvee, right? Either this was bulky enough to live the +2 close combat, or they just played crazy mind games in the fact that, oh, Zygarde has access to extreme speed, as well as this too, so we can we'd love to see some of that too. Zygarde hitting the protect, almost in the range of the green. Ice Beam gonna pop there, but not sure if the next one will be a roll. We know that we have lefties, so there's a likely switch here. Okay, and then the double, fearing the it's back. and they know they have to immediately switch. Sub is free there, going back into green. Protect, and you're just safe to throw out any other move here. Now, it could be Toxic, it could be Calm Mind, and it is Calm Mind. So this sub might not break anytime soon. Okay, doing 25 and getting the flinch. So Emvee needs one more Calm Mind to be out the range of sub breaking from Hydreigon. Okay, so there's that. How many protects do we see left? Protect is getting low. We only have 7 now after that. But Ferrothorn is effectively stopped. And that was so smart. Knowing that this is a Z-Cap, just straight up protected to gauge what it might have done. Close combat doing a heck of a lot, but Scald is going to make that drop. And those protects are going to be very, very crucial now. Having only 5 and then... Okay, good. Oh, we see a great read from Manuel. Amazing. Okay, so we know that's not Scarf. Very well played. And yeah, like I said, if this has sub, which it doesn't use right now at the moment, so that +2 plus Akka is gonna just not care about that. Very well done so far. I'm loving how this is playing out. Suicune comes in here as a likely sack, and Superior is going to scare that out. So Hydreigon is looking very much oh my gosh, the crit. Oh, I think that's it. As long provided Emvee hits or has access to Giga Drain, as long as they don't have Rindo Berry, the grass resist berry, this could be GG. That was very crucial. And we know Hydreigon was faster than Serp, basically, because it hit first, of course. Serp is +4. Yeah, that very much mattered. And we do see the Giga Drain. We do see the Giga Drain. +1 attack Serp and the Giga Drain as well, bringing it back all the way up. And that's gonna be GG. It is Emvee. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Hydreigon from there, Flamethrower, and provided it. So -1, boom, boom, boom. Like, Zygarde could have brought it back as well, possibly. Like, let's say this goes down, right? And you're in front of Hydreigon Dark Pulse. Depending on if you sub to get back, well, no. You would have to protect there and get chip health. And Flamethrower doesn't do much. So yeah, you could have subbed. Flamethrower wouldn't break. Burn could have been a thing. You sub, get DD. I'm not sure if that was checkmate, right? If this was to go down, and if you were to substitute on the Scarf locked Hydreigon, without burn, D-Dance, leftovers, plenty of protects to heal. Let's see, hold on. I'm just curious at this point, right? Lando, which could switch up moves. This is likely 2-hit KO at +1. Let's see. This is likely 1-hit KO. Maybe that probably would have died, and that dies if Mega. Yeah, that might have been checkmate. So very well done. Resilient as the effort that Superior is. Just the superior Mon. So let's go over Manuel's team here. We're in the heat. Pretty standard Aquathorn, Rain, Hydration, the end all be all of status and setup. The Z Flame Charge Close Combat. I do like this. You don't often see flame charge on this setup, flame charge at that. Yeah, I'm willing to give Infernape Z pummeling flame charge. Unsure what the last move is, but I'll give this a heat rating of 1, right? You see Swords Dance on it, you see CC on it. Z move, flame charge was heat in conjunction with Swords Dance. Being very threatening and just having overall, you know, command presence. Yeah, we'll give that 1. U-turn, Scarf, Hydreigon, Diancie, just Earthquake. On not Earthquake, Giga Drain and Giga Drain. So good job to Manuel. Also great job to Emvee. The prep was crazy. Like making Ferrothorn a sitting Thorn, like that was very great. Leftovers. These two essentially doing the same thing. I'm surprised that Emvee didn't put 1,000 Arrows first right there. Or is this in order of shown? Right? Probably order of shown. Cryogonal did amazing work coming in on Lando. I said in a previous video, like this Mon just hard stops Lando unless you do have the rock move. So being that it's draft, well prepared, well prepped by Manuel. Yeah, this is nasty work. We've seen Crocoon before, Pressure Coon as well. This is pretty standard. Did crazy work. Loved seeing Giga Drain. Toxic, pretty nice on that. Standard Clear Body, claiming clutch on it. Poison Jab, unfortunately no burn or poison. Freeze Drive, we love seeing that on there. I'll give Zygarde on this one because we see what it was built to do. Heat rating of 1 as well. Like these both did its job effectively, wearing down the team. With the PP and HP on that side, and then letting Superior just come in and, you know, take command. So moving on to the next one. Alright, so here we have ThatOneGuy, coach of the Arc Niners, versus Samuel, coach of the Piggy guys, of course. So let's see here. This Garchomp is Mega, if I recall correctly. In Z Mew here. So this has access to Genesis Supernova, Psycho Nova. Psycho Nova sounds clean. There's no priority on here though, but it does boost its it makes Psychic Terrain happen. So Psychic moves go off, they boost up here. But very nice built team here. Shadow Ball is very free into everything, so I could see something like AV on Prima, possibly maybe AV on Hitmontop. Even bulky this AV could be on any of these mons here. Strength Sap is available on this here on Vileplume. I don't see it being used very well here. Like, granted, this has Water Bubble, not a great attack stat overall. Like only doing it on this, but still Brave Bird is a beast, and you have Reckless as well. Intimidate could do work versus this and this, and possibly Mew if it is physical. As far as leads, webs don't seem all too important here, especially with Spinner and Defog. This might get defogged this generation. Of course it's Mew, it probably does. I could see Rocks being annoying for this team as well. So I could see a Garchomp lead, Mega Garchomp lead, and potentially a Gliscor lead. Ice Fang could be there, or even Ice Beam on Araquanid. Going right into it. So we do see the Garchomp lead, and we do see Haru-Ura. Liquidation doing amazing damage on the stamp. And interesting they didn't Mega turn 1. I do believe this does get defense boost, but possibly for the speed, right? Because Garchomp is slower than regular Garchomp vanilla, right? So you go from 3-3 to 3-11, I believe, right? So yeah, 3-11. So possibly for the speed, they get the +2, no Scale Shot though. And Stone Edge does connect and drop it. So webs weren't a priority, damage definitely was. And being the way that comes out, yeah, ooh, Shadow Ball does crazy work. But so does Sucker Punch. Doesn't have access to Pursuit, but Sucker Punch, I might be lying, gets the KO off on Sakura. And missing out on the kill with Hydro Pump and getting the Mach Punch delivery. So Protect here, likely letting this go down. And going right into Garchomp for the Toxic, because it could be clutch in the after effect. Now 3 Mons down in below 9 turns. I could definitely see the pressure being brought on that one guy here. Like, yeah, this is gonna be hard to come back from. But we do see the sub Toxic Protect, which can do mad work into anything here, provided that Vileplume is able to go down effectively and knock out this sub. So we know this goes down next turn. Protect to ensure that sub stays up. And Mew is here. Okay, Taunt. Ooh, so Taunt is a big body shutdown to things like Umbreon. And Umbreon comes in on the Nightshade. So I could see the reason why there, right? Because Mew does have access to Ice Beam and whatnot. If you bring that in on Rocks and Ice Beam, it's a dead mon for the most part. But Taunt also kind of locks this down depending on what dark move this has. If it's knockoff and you knock off its item, you do less. You can't heal up. You do have leftovers, and that's about it. Depending on what moves this Mew has, right? So we see the Taunt and Foul Play doing a good amount. Not gonna lie. 1/3 Infestation. So you're here to stay. Mew came to play. If this doesn't have some form of recovery, which it does, just revealed Roost. I believe Super Creek is going down, provided, yeah, it gets some help, but not enough. Infestation is going to chip it down significantly. And yeah, I think we know the end game right here in this instance. So if Mew is packing the Ice Beam, which it is not. It's Infestation, Nightshade, Taunt, Roost. So very well done. Mew was told at a young age it could be anything it wants. And it became a menace. It chose to be a menace. So getting the kill, dropping Brave Bird. No Intimidate, but Hurricane is gonna knock that thing out the sky. With its Life Orb being proc, doing extra damage. So that should be enough to 2-hit KO. Gold chip here. And getting the last ditch Toxic off. Do we see a last ditch Protect? We do. This is very doable still by Gliscor, provided it misses, but it does not. Gold chip goes down. So very good game. Well played. I could see, you know, some form of tilt by losing so many mons so early too. Hitmon top is kind of hard to switch into between close combat and Sucker Punch. Like Gliscor would be the move, I think. Like, but we did see the Sucker there. What came in after? Hydro Pump on this. Yeah, Gliscor was probably the move there. No Triple Axle. I don't believe this has Ice Punch, but I could see it as well. Technician, Hidden Power Ice could be a thing too, on some Mian Shao type vibes, right? But let's rate the heat. We'll start off with that one guy. liquidation, standard. Like everything got to at least click off one move. As far as here, Hurricane Life Orb, love seeing that. Didn't get to see that. This has definitely been the MVP on this game. Technician, of course, unless it was steadfast for whatever reason, I could see it. I don't know what would flinch you, but I could see it. Doing dang work, getting the duffs. I would love to have seen Valplume do work. SD, Rocks, Stone Edge. Okay, Mew is the star here of this game. Aside from Hitmontop, doing mad work. If anybody was to get any heat, it would definitely be Mew. I think you don't often see trap Mew sets. Like this does have access to like block, which was removed from, or infestation I think was removed from. No, I'm tripping. It was Mean Look. Mean Look got removed in Gen 9 for reasons not gonna explain. But yeah, very heat set, shuts down a lot of the thick mons that one guy could have brought, because I think they have stuff like type null, which Nightshade wouldn't do much, but infestation was a good call. I give this a heat rating of, I want to give it something between 2 and 3. This thing did effectively shut down the roost. Like this is really good. This is something that you might bring to ladder, to drop stall and stuff like that. Like if this was to lead versus Araquanid that didn't have a bug move, that would do a good amount. You know what? We're gonna give this a heat rating of 3. Either I'm between 2 or 3, but let's just give it 3. Like this did its job very well, without revealing item. I would love to have seen the item. Nightshade, infestation, toxic roost. Yeah, very well done. Even if it had Ice Beam, I think that would also be great consideration and coverage. But it didn't need it. Infestation means you're sticking with me. And switching out is so powerful. So on to the next game here. All right, next we have Mommy Phil, coach of the Charizard, Bannanaspeaker, coach of the LA Rampardos. A very hefty team here. I can see Rocky Helmet maybe on something like Garchomp. This is Vanilla Chomp. Endure could be a thing. Just does a good amount into those 3. Bulu having healing is a thing as well. You're effectively blocking its main stab move, and this doesn't have ice type coverage outside of hidden power ice. Like most people think this has ice punch. No sir, fire punch, thunder punch. Actually, I don't even know if this has thunder punch. This might just have plasma fist, but yeah, let's say thunder punch. You do have access to play rough for coverage on that, as well as HP ice. Grin does a good job versus most of this team outside of Empoleon just coming in. I can see this being very Spadef for Grin, but Grin is only access to Torrent. No Protean, no Battle Bond. Comfey could be annoying here, and I like the way they played the Comfey. Glad to see another game from them coming up here. I'm never gonna underrate this. I think this is gonna do some kind of annoying work regardless. Infiltrator, so no screens, as well as being a pretty good defogger. Having access to Roost though on top of Donphan, if it does get up rocks, is kind of scary to bring that in. And then we see the camera up, Mega Camera Up come off the table. Am I tripping? Was this 1 point? I might be tripping, but Metagross too could be very scary. I think their team is very well bulky. Wish Pass between those two possible without having pass, like Baton Pass. Let's get right into it. As far as leads, I could see a straight up lead on like Empoleon. No, hell no. Unless this is Balloon, this is likely not gonna lead. I could see this, like, they did have very well consideration for their game last time with having hidden power ice. I am gonna call that as far as this being a lead, but this could be scarf, this could be balloon. So I assume balloon. If we don't see a lead Donphan, we see lead this into their Garchomp lead, or even a Crobat lead, maybe. We'll see. So we see Greninja. I'm off on that. And we do see the hidden power. We do see the hidden power. So making a great read there, Bannanaspeaker. Very well played. And this was a great mid-ground play. Like taking their electric type move, as well as not fearing super effective damage, if any damage at all, from hidden power. Can't really well discern if that is special or mixed. Or, yeah. So, Draco Meteor drops that with a crit, dropping the special attack along. Greninja might not have been that important here, but still sucks to go down. We see the rocks. And Toxic comes out. Very well played, bringing that in. Now, they are making amazing mid-ground plays. Like, I don't think anything else would come out aside from Crobat, but this does have access to Stone Edge. So, like, Metagross was its best move. Stomping Tantrum is on here. I don't believe high horsepower, but very well done. Like, I'm already liking this match with being only in turn 6. Meteor Mass, no boost, but we do see lefties plus, oh, Grass Knot in grassy terrain. Okay, we're giving that some heat. Now, good crit. I mean, good, I don't know, but as far as the damage, that is nasty. And Empoleon knocking off the Custap Berry. Sir, what are you cooking? I'm loving it. Earthquake is gonna drop that. And wow, okay, so that's crazy consideration. I don't think this gets Stomping Tantrum, but even if it did, Earthquake there does get the nerf damage from grassy terrain, but still packing it is pretty great. Like, if you get the +1, you're basically at Stomping Tantrum damage if you get the +1 from Meteor Mash. So popping up this time, because we missed you last game, is Mega Kangaskhan, and doing damage with the Seismic Toss. I don't know if that's legal. Yeah, good playing out. Not gonna care for the most part. If they choose to not click it anymore, that's fine by them. That's smart. But yeah, usually Seismic Toss on Kanga is banned. You're practically doing 200 damage worth. But either way, gentleman's agreement for the most part between the two here. Now, that's great to have Rocky Helmet on this. This is taking mad damage, not even caring from the 53% that was 53% that was done there. Okay, so we do get the pair. And the Ice Punch is going to bring down Kangaskhan to 6 and bring down the Crobat. So very smart by them to bring the rocks in the rough skin. Healing Wish, pop that off. Bulu's going to come in. So this Healing Wish doesn't work like the Gen 9 variant where it stocks up. It immediately just goes off. Unfortunate, because Kangaskhan would have loved that, right? It just dies to rocks for the most part. So that could have just been a pivot move. It's giving that it was Scarf. So I'm not sure if they knew how that interacted in this generation. Poison Jab on Bulu and Horn Leech on Garchomp. Healing it back up. Don't see Helm. Do we know what item this is? Unsure still. And rocks, it goes down. Poison Jab. So that was a good move in case, you know, they pop Z move. I'm not sure if this has Z move actually. But Zora comes out here. Hidden Power Ice likely to come out here, but Grass Knot boosted in the terrain. And Mega Camera Up, Megas. That's some good damage. And wow, that Fire Blast I thought would have killed. You took rocks, right? Let's see. Yeah, that'd be funny if this is AV. Unsure, but Grass Knot's gonna take that down. So well done by Zeraora. Comfey comes in, and Plasma Fist is gonna knock it into 40%. While draining whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, you just used a healing move. So that means you are natural cure. Wow, I'm loving the consideration here. Not even fearing, like, a lot of good stuff here. I'm loving this match. Two well-rounded players here, very good. Which I played both. No, I haven't. So Gracie gets the Horn Leech off, but the +1. So okay, the Grassy Seed is crazy. Loving that. Comfey hurt by the Rocky Helmet because Draining Kiss makes contact. And Comfey is a fast Mon. It is gonna heal up pretty well. Horn Leech is gonna knock that out, bringing Bulu right into the yellow, like exactly. But getting outsped by Garchomp in the Poison Jab. I love this match. 5-second glance. It's crazy. So let's go over these teams, right? So Banana, very well done. We did see the Hidden Power. We did see the Grass Knot playing well off of this. So it's giving like it was a mix set or just great investment. Possibly AV. Loving the consideration. We do see Hidden Power on this from time to time in Grass Knot, so I can't really award it any heat. But it was heat. Let's not lie. It was doing work, especially with the Grass Knot and Grassy Surge. I could definitely give it candidacy to receive 1 flame right here, because that was very well played. Making good reads as well. Bar how they turned out, very well done. Yeah, that gets some heat, definitely. Toxic Horn Leech, Rocky Helmet, didn't get to see much go off on that. Gonna ignore Seismic Toss, Body Press, sorry, not Body Press, Slam, Ice Punch, Standard, Healing Wish, Draco. I believe this was Scarf. Unfortunately, the Healing Wish didn't go off into Kanga, so it just died to rocks. Knock off on that, and Donphan just came in and sat down. Alright, Mommy Phil. Amazing game. I don't even remember if I won or not versus them. But yeah, very well done. I love this Metagross, right? Cuss that berry. Earthquake, Grass Knot, Meteor Mash. Like, we know that Grass Knot's there for coverage. Like, it just baits in Donphan and does a good amount. Cuss Stap, in case, probably if you were Endeavor, but Ice Shard is in a +1 bracket. You wouldn't be +1, you would just go first in your bracket. I doubt it would be for that. Like, this seems too well played out. So I'm wondering like what brought this down into range for Cuss Step. Getting a last ditch effort, Earthquake on something is nice, or Meteor Mash for the most part. This thing dealt well with most of their team here. Camera Up, Toxic Fire Blast, Magma Armor, very great ability on Camera Up regular. JK. Does it only have Magma Armor? Give this Mon another ability in Vanilla, right? Let it do something. Give this Mon Sheer Force in Vanilla too, right? Why not? Why not? Maybe not, but why not? Rocky Helmet Roost, very nice, very well done. I can expect this being the defensive variant. And Garchomp having the coverage with rocks doing mad work, could not get those rocks off and this just straight up dropping. Like, this was a very good match here. If I was to give heat to anybody, I'm giving it to Metagross here. I'm gonna have to give this a 3-2 because I think it plays well off the grassy terrain from the op, doing mad damage for these fat boys. Not body shaming anybody, sorry Kangaskhan, but just dropping the thickness with the Meteor Mash and Earthquake. Earthquake just always good there. Meteor Mash, standard. Grass Knot, could see it on special sets, but the Custap and the amount of coverage, like, I'm loving these mixed sets that I'm seeing. Like, mixed get you mixed in. So yeah, I definitely want to give this a heat rating of 2 if I gave this a 1, for the same reasons. Like, Custap is very nice. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that effectively done, but the Grass Knot is there too. I guess I can't really put points towards Custap, so I'm gonna revert it to a 1. These mons getting the heat for the same reason, just the mixed coverage, Grass Knot, use of terrain. Yeah, amazing work, amazing work. Actually, I don't know this item. Yeah, we'll just give this 2. Yeah, you get a 2. So, great game. Moving on to the next. All right, next up we got coach of the Los Angeles Azules, Knight F3OP, versus Mask 19, coach of the New York Masquerades. Now, looking at the teams here, they did get some new mons. Raichu, Alola, and Scizor, dropping Mesprit and some other mon. And Lycanroc, Quag, Victini, what? Going back to it. Tapu Fini, Scizor, we see a cousin matchup. This one's gonna be Mega. This one's gonna be Vanilla. Hot take, I do like Vanilla Scizor better because access to an item. Like, this mon with an item is very great in my opinion. Not to discard this for its, like, just stats. As far as lead, I can see Rocks being very strong on either side. You do have 3 forms of defog right here, and 2 mons that could set up Rocks. Ground type in the Quag for stuff like this. This could be either Unaware or Water Absorb, being very strong into Raichu, but these both could pack Grass Knot, as well as Starmie, I believe, or Hidden Power Grass, if it was to be Water Absorb and T-Bolt. Scizor gives a lot of issue 2 into Mamoswine and Coco, but not so much everything else. Tapu Fini is Tapu Fini. I could see this with Hidden Power Fire, baiting in Scizor, only needing really Moonblast or Scald, but Scald is not gonna get a burn off. Rotom, we see this definitely having Hidden Power Fire for the likes of Scizor coming in here. Scarf Scizor would be crazy. Victini is a very good lead overall, just U-turn. Could see Splinter's Storm Shards into this to break the terrain too for the Raichu, and just a good switch in of Quag. So as far as leads here, like, if Mamo has Freeze Dry, that'd be amazing. Thick Fat's not gonna let Victini kill unless it's like Final Gambit or something like that. Memo has a great HP stat. I think it's 110 if I'm not mistaken. It's not 80, it's like 110, I believe. Their leads could definitely be Mamo or Coco here, versus their lead either being, if it's Sash, Lycanroc, likely, but Rock into this doesn't do much. It doesn't have access to CC yet, so I'm gonna call Victini or Rotom as a lead here. So Victini comes in on Starmie, Estrella. Okay, And Bad Mama Jamma comes in, U-turn. So good job baiting that U-turn, getting that in, but getting it out. And Mega Bullet Punch, doing some damage off the Rocky helmet. So Finny comes in here, rightfully so, to avoid Toxic, but we do see the U-turn here. Misty Terrain is going to be big for them. Electric Terrain going right into it. And we see the leftovers. They straight up they straight up stay in. So I don't think this has Mirror Coat. We know it has leftovers. So no Wakan Berry, no AV, likely Spidef or a defense for the likes of anything on their team. Offensive, I don't necessarily know. I could see Calm Mind being annoying. I Just Met Her comes in. Scissor. I love this. Scissor. I just met her. Okay, genuine laugh. Gets the drop with the Moonblast. It gets right out. U-turn. Seeing great pivots on Knight F3 OP. This coming in might reveal that it does have... Oh, Thunderbolt. Great read. Critical hit too. This could be Specs or Analytic. Getting right out. Now... Okay, this play right here, right? Amazing read. We did see this stay in on Coco for whatever reason, right? I can't necessarily say that clicking Thunderbolt would be a bad move. Like, I don't think this is Specs. It could be. Unsure in my head count. What's this? Base 110, special attack 120. Like, unless you're choice lock, right? This might give it away. In either instance, that if Quag was to come in on the T-Bolt, that it'd be choice lock if it switches out. Unless you have Hidden Power Grass to bait, which would be amazing. Now the switch here, I'm just unsure. But I guess it provides the same instance of being effective, because Coco does have access to stuff like U-turn still, and then Grass Knot. So that was almost redundant, but depending on like what item it is. Now this does have access to Surf, T-Bolt, Grass Knot, Focus Blast, and Rotom just might not care. Grass Knot making great moves on Phil's part here. Wait, am I wrong? Is this not Mommy Phil? Hold on. Making great moves regardless. We do see the Akaberry pop on Scizor. So good move. +2 Nasty Plot. Leaf Storm, Super Drop, and the Side Shot. Gonna make it flop. Alright, back to Scizor here, and the double. Okay, so wasting the terrain, but we do... Yeah, Grass Knot makes that drop. Island Boy is rocking it. So fearing the likely Choice Scarf, just goes out into Scizor. I Just Met Her to sack the Scizor right there, because nothing else would appreciate that. Estrella comes in here. Hydro Pump. So we do see that it can mix it up, and that it is Analytic. We get the drop, unfortunately. Oh, okay. So I'm not sure how they're playing this. Unfortunately, like, cause getting this damage kind of sucks, especially if you want to just hold on to this, and then just getting it in range of a possible Excel Rock could suck. Like, these two still take it, but they may be slower if they're not Scarf. So having this get damage kind of hurts, I think, especially with the amount of damage it's taking, when this could have very well died, or just getting off damage on your own. So Roost, okay, nice. So Roost is gonna be nice there. Storm, Splinter Shards gonna get rid of the terrain. Grass Knot did a good amount, but there is no more Stoke Surfers out here. Bad Mama Jamma comes in, lays out those rocks. So Finny should go down. Well, I'm lying. No, it's not. I don't know if Rocks was the move right there. I think killing this was a bigger issue because you could very well be in range of every Rock move that hits, right? So, provided it hits. U-turn. Oh no. So, Estrella comes out, gets the Hydro Pump landing. Good job. So, Excel Rock is no longer on the board, but you do have Bullet Punch in the back, which can... Hidden Power Fire. Nice. So, no Hidden Power Grass. Hidden Power Fire for that reason. Victini comes out, likely to take some chip. So Rox is doing mad work. Unfortunately, something goes down here, and Finny goes back up into away from Rox range. Now T-Bolt is gonna take that out, and unsure if okay, U-turn. Ice Shard. Oh. No, not the Ice Shard. No. Oh, yeah. That was a throw. Oh, no. And they called it 2. So, RIP. Very well played by both parts here. Some questionable plays here. Unfortunate. Dang. Yeah, they should have probably calced there, but yeah, I don't think Mamo feared the U-turn, especially doing, you know, not very effective damage. Especially if you already feared that this was something like Scarf, you can account for it to not be banded by how much damage it's doing on to some things I killed. So just donating a victory, but very well played. They did have it in the bag. Especially against so many different threats. Probably hesitated on pulling the trigger on some, but still well played by the opposition, especially in the team building process here. So very well done. We'll go over Knight's team here. U-turn Rocky Helmet. Rocky Helmet doing very great work. Ice Shard, Stealth Rock, doing some great damage too. Ice Shard 12. Like Earthquake is just a move there. Unfortunate. U-turn Akaberry. Akaberry is very well loved by the Scizor. I just met her. I love the name. If I'm giving a heat rating to the name, yeah, that's fire. Estrella, very great coverage. Kept the hidden power tucked in the back. Very well done by that too. Took the bullet punch very well. Grass knot, good coverage, pretty standard for the most part. Coverage on that and pretty standard. Like Raichu or this Island Boy definitely did mad work. Definitely to be respected. Unsure what item it was, but yeah, hitting on both spectrums too. Psyshock and T-Bolt. Moving on here, Moonblast, standard. Hidden Power is smart for the coverage for a Scizor there. The Akaberry once again coming in clutch. Stone Edge, Lycium Z. So I did predict this for the terrain, which was very smart on their part. Very well brought. Quagsire did nothing surprisingly because of the grass knot. Very well done. And V-Create, Victini, U-turn the start of the show. So very well fought by both opponents there. Like nobody wanted to go down. Just some hesitation, it seems like, possibly. But very well done still nonetheless. Loving it. Alright, so those are going to be the games for week 3. Very well done. Some amazing matches, definitely. Head to head. Like, I could see week 3 just causing rivalries as far as, oh dang, respect on respect. A lot of close battles here too, right? 1, 2, Sam did very well there. Emvee made the crit ring, and yeah, pretty well done. by everybody here. And yeah, just love it. Want to see the heat turned up a little bit here, but standard's not bad. You know, watching a good game, it's never a bad thing. But keep playing, have fun. See you in the next one. As always, peace.